Good morning.
Morning.
How are you?
I'm so good. How are you?
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you. It's such a great space.
It's very exciting.
It is.
Our
what
podcast.
you've done to it is incredible. First podcast.
I
First
know.
guest.
Yeah, first guest.
No pressure.
Scott Bennett.
Here I am.
Hey. Welcome to the Curb Appeal podcast.
Thank you.
I've known you now probably about 4 years.
Yeah, I think it must be. Yeah.
And it was weird because I met you through being in Bollington,
Yeah.
but also through Prosperity Network as well.
Yes, where I've met
Yeah.
almost everybody in the property group that I know. Yeah.
For those who don't know you, what does Scott Bennett Property do?
What do I do?
What's your background?
Buy houses. My background is kitchen design. So I started as a kitchen designer, and then I'm still with that company now. Not designing, I'm managing and directing the sales now. But that's been my background. How I got into property, I guess. I almost fell into it, if I'm honest.
Lots of people do.
Yeah, I think they do. You're right. It was one of those things that I kind of grew up going, oh, someday I'd love to do that, with no idea whatsoever about how. It was always sort of, oh yeah, I'd love to be in property or do the developments that you see on TV and things like that. But
Watch too much Homes Under the Hammer.
yeah, Homes of the Hammer, Grand Designs, that sort of thing. I bought my first house when I was 24, 25. Lived there for a while, and then I met Helen, my now wife. She had her own house as well. And then as our relationship developed, we thought, well, let's live together. And she actually was moving up to work in Harrogate at the time. So we decided, well, I work in Wilmslow, she works in Harrogate. Let's buy somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, makes sense.
So we sold her house, and then we used that to buy the joint house, and we kept mine out to rent. So that's how we kind of started with the rental side of things. We attended a 3-day course for the cheap price of $997.
She did.
Yeah. And we went to that course, and I can remember it now on the drive there. We are not being upsold. We're absolutely, this is it. This is what we're doing. And by the end of the first day, we both turned to each other and went, yeah, we're going to buy the package, aren't we?
Yeah, we need to do
We're
this.
going to buy the really expensive package. And we did. And was it worth it? I don't know. I think the content-wise, probably not. The network that I've developed from there, absolutely. And, from what we've done now, we've paid it back, over and over again. So I don't think we would be where we are now without it because of the connections that we've made.
Do you think it makes you more committed as well? Because when you've outlaid quite a big sum, you might be able to do it without doing that, but then it really does focus you in, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
It gives you that you need that discipline then to make
you've
sure
got the
you take
financial
action.
commitment as well, haven't you? It's not just you going, oh, we want to do this. It's we've spent this amount of money on it. We need to do this.
Yeah.
There was definitely a stronger pull to make it work, but it was something that we were both really excited about doing. Helen sort of also weirdly wanted to do it from a young age. And like I say, the network that we've made from that and the contacts that we've made from doing that, I think is absolutely worth every penny that we spent on it, to be honest.
So where have you gone then with your strategy? So did you start off obviously did a buy to rent?
Yep. So we did buy to lets.
Yeah.
We've done a couple of those, and then we quite swiftly moved on to the social housing HMOs, and we worked with a number of providers. Most recently with a provider that houses vulnerable adults, so people trying to get back on their feet, whether that's victims of domestic abuse, recovering addicts, not in the same house, but it's short-term accommodation for them to get back on their feet for whatever reason. So it's a really nice provider to almost work with, really, and it's something that resonates with me quite a lot. So yeah, we've done quite a few of the social housing HMOs. And then we've moved on to bigger projects. We're doing bigger HMOs professionally now, along with some commercial properties as well. So we're buying mixed use. So we've got shop at the bottom with a number of flats above. And I'm not sure why, but I really like that strategy at the minute. So I'm trying to do more of that.
So what's the goal? What's
the goal? I mean, the goal is...
Where do you want to be in 5 years' time, 10 years' time?
That seems to change. But the overriding goal is freedom for me. It's the ability to work from where I want, when I want. I don't think I'll ever stop. I'm kind of a bit obsessed with working. So I don't think I'll ever stop, but it's to be able to do it on my terms and from where I want to. You know, we've got a little girl, 2-year-old, little Blake, and when she arrived, everything changed. You know, priorities changed massively for me. Now it's all about how can I spend as much time with her as she's growing up. Yeah, so it's the freedom for me. So where we will be, I don't know, but it will be to scale that business.
Do you think you'll stay in Cheshire?
I don't know if we'll stay in the UK.
Oh, love that.
I mean, Helen hasn't agreed to that yet, but there we go.
Helen, if you're listening and watching.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it later. No, it's something that we've pondered, and it's definitely not yet. But Cheshire is always home for me. You know, we've lived in Yorkshire. I've lived down in Birmingham at university, and Cheshire for me has everything. I absolutely love it. So if we ever were to move, then it might be abroad for a little bit, but not sure.
Yeah, watch this space.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see.
So what would you say when you sort of look back at the last few years, what's been the biggest challenge for you both, or the biggest sort of learning takeaway where you've hit like a bit of a, oh my goodness, you know, how do we move forward from this?
I think that develops over time. You know, the hurdles that we were coming up against on our first project now don't even feel like hurdles. They sort of seem to develop as we develop. I think my biggest challenge at the minute is purely just time. If I'm honest, you know, my work in the kitchen company is taking up most hours in the week for me with travel, because I travel nationwide for it as well. So I spend a lot of time traveling. And so to actually then focus on building the property portfolio as well, I'm having to get quite creative with how I'm doing that, because I just don't have the time to go and view. Or I do have the time, but I choose to spend that free time with Blake, because otherwise I would never see her. So I don't like when people say I don't have the time. It's what your priority is, and I'm absolutely fine with my priority being Blake. So I'm using sourcing agents quite a lot to try and navigate that for now, until I can then focus fully on the property side of things. I'd say that was the biggest challenge currently. But along the way, you come up against property challenges all the time, don't you? Refurbs going over, builders leaving you high and dry. But that, again, is where the community for me comes into it. You know, the people that we've met through Prosperity Network have helped me out massively along the way.
I don't think there's a person in there who'd not help you. And if they didn't know an answer, they'd point you to someone who does. That's the power of community, isn't it?
It's the first community I've been a part of that it feels like that.
Yeah.
It genuinely feels like everybody wants everyone to do well. I think that's quite uncommon, because you are sort of all trying to do the same thing. So I think it's rare that everybody believes so much in abundance that actually everyone can succeed. I think that's quite clear, and I think that stems down from Danny having that, really, doesn't it?
What advice would you give to someone who's listening, who's perhaps sort of on the periphery wanting to go into property? They're not sure yet how they're going to raise finance.
I think if you're on the periphery of wanting to get into property, my first bit of advice would get knowledgeable, invest in yourself, invest in a community like Prosperity Network. Doing some ads for Prosperity, aren't we? No, but seriously, you know, join a network, get a mentor, get a coach, someone that can help you with all your own little hurdles and get you out of your own way. You know, that's been my biggest takeaway from having a coach, is actually problems that I have in my head that I think are problems immediately go to nothing when you talk to them. You always think, oh God, that's so simple. But it takes someone with either an outside view or more experience to show you that it's really an easy fix. So that would be my first advice for getting into it, because you just cannot do property as a hobby anymore. You know, there's so many regulations and restrictions that actually it can't really be a hobby.
Especially on the HMO side as well.
Exactly. There's so many things that you need to adhere to.
Yeah.
So you need to have someone that, you know, is knowledgeable, but you need to get knowledgeable as well. So that would be my first thing if you're sort of on the periphery. In terms of raising finance, this has been a bit of a hurdle for us over the years. Whether it's that we believed we didn't know anybody that would have the finance, or why would people invest in us, that sort of thing. And this year it has all changed for us. It's been our most successful year in terms of raising finance. What's changed? I got a kick at the ass from my coach to say, just do it. And actually the fear of asking people or talking to people about it was far lower than the fear of going back to him and going, I've not done what I said I was going to do.
I think money's very taboo, isn't it? And
It is.
especially if you're asking family or friends.
It is.
And that sort of sheepishness of like, you don't feel that you can quite ask or they won't get what it is that you're doing.
Exactly. And I think a lot of people think that they're asking for a favor, whereas actually my biggest mindset shift is that we're offering them an opportunity, because we're offering them an opportunity to earn a heck of a lot more than they would do anywhere else.
They don't have to do anything for it.
And they can just sit there and just sign a form and that's it. And, you know, I think the other reason that we've been more successful this year is probably because we've actually now built up quite a lot of evidence that we do what we say we're going to do. And we've got that evidence to show that we know what we're doing. So our first one, we funded all ourselves to kind of prove the point. And then we got close family members who were interested on the next one, and it's kind of snowballed from there. And my biggest advice would be just tell everybody about what you're doing. You know, find ways to bring it into the conversation. You know, and it can be as simple as, this is what I'm doing today. This is what it doesn't have to be about investment. Just tell people that you're doing what you're doing in property.
Social media is a massive thing for that, isn't it?
And God, I hate social media, but
people feel awkward. But even just posting a photo or a little video of you on a viewing to see a property or something, it just shows that you're active, being
documenting it. Yeah, because I had it in my head that I'm not doing all these big deals. You know, people aren't necessarily going to want to see this. I've not bought anything. I've not got a refurb on, whatever that may be. But actually, just documenting that you're turning up. You're going to see the viewings. You're putting the offers in. You're doing the deal analysis. All of that shows that you're serious about what you're doing. And I should probably heed my own advice really on that. But it shows that you're going to be consistent and you're committed to this. And then in years to come, when you are doing more stuff, people can see that history on your social media feed and think, oh God, they've been doing this for a long time. Yeah. Whereas if you wait until you've made it or you've started doing bigger things, there's no history. So it's going to feel like you're new still to it. And that kind of how I think about it anyway.
And a lot of people wait till it's perfect as well.
Yeah.
And they're so involved in making the posts absolutely amazing. And it's like a whole full Hollywood production.
Yeah,
it's just,
it is.
Just,
and I mean, kudos to people that can do that.
Yeah, they've got the time as well.
My technological skills are far below that. So I was trying to make them look good, if I'm honest. And the other month, I kind of just went, you know what? I'm just going to do it in a one take. So all of my videos now are a one take. If they're good, great. If I stumble, it is what it is. That's real
it's
to
more
me.
Natural, yeah.
But I just don't have the time to try and re-record a 3-minute video 17 times.
Yeah.
I can't walk that far because all my videos are when I'm walking, because that's when I feel more comfortable in front of the camera. Yeah, I've got that many walks around my area.
So there's Scott, the property man.
Yeah, there he is. He's on his walk again with his tiny little dog.
What's a piece of advice that you'd give to your younger self now who is starting out in property?
Do more. And that sounds really like sort of cliche. I think if I could have the hindsight that I've got now of what we've done, I think it would be more bullish, trust yourself, back yourself more. It's all going to turn out one way or another. It's all going to turn out right one way or another. And I don't mean that to take more risk, but I think I think it's the same for everyone that's just starting out. There's always a reason not to do a deal if you look for one. And I think we fell into that. You know, I'm quite bullish by nature. Helen's a little bit more calculated. And then I'm not bullish enough to override that overcalculation, if you like. And so when we started off, we did often overanalyze deals, and it was like, oh, what if this happens? What if that happens? Whereas I think now I would go, what if it all went right? You know, what if this happened? And so we take a much more pragmatic look at things now. Like, what's the best thing that could happen?
Yeah.
What's the worst thing that could happen? What's the most likely thing to happen? And if I'm happy with all those things on a high sort of level look at it, do the deal. Yeah, because there's always a reason not to do it. And I think my biggest advice to my younger self would be to take more risks on that sense.
That's
calculated risks.
Yeah, that's a difficult thing, isn't it, when you haven't got the experience or the knowledge, which is then back full circle to getting a mentor.
Absolutely. And that's exactly why. And I would definitely do that earlier in our journey.
Do you think you've let a few deals go then that you'd wish 100%. That you'd have kept?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, absolutely. I can think of two off the top of my head. There's flats that we heard from a neighbour that a different neighbour was not a pleasant neighbour, and so we thought, oh god, well, we don't want to be stuck renting flats out where there's another neighbour that might, put people off renting. There's one that we thought, oh, we talked ourselves out of having the budget to do the refurbishment, so we'd actually had the offer accepted and we were going to buy it, and then we thought, can't fund this. Didn't really try, if I'm honest, that hard to fund it. We sort of just thought, well, they don't have the money for us, so that's it, done. We did end up selling that deal on. We co-sourced it with somebody else who then made it a fantastic project.
If people want to find you on social media, where can we find you?
Scott Bennett Property on Instagram and Facebook. Less active on Facebook, if I'm honest. But yeah, Instagram's probably the place to be. Very basic, Scott Bennett Property.
Yeah, love it. Yeah, it's very visual as well.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much.
Thanks so much for having me. I've absolutely loved it.
First podcast.
I
Brilliant.
absolutely love it. I can't wait to see where you take this, because honestly, the space is so good. I'm so proud of you for doing it.
Oh, well, thank you. Job's a good one.
Amazing.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. Yeah.